Do people freeze when you enter the room? Not because you're loud, but because your silence alone makes them question their entire existence? Most men chase charisma like it's a trophy, but real power doesn't beg for attention. It detonates it. You're not arrogant, you're not too much. You've simply mastered the dark art of being unapologetically lethal. This is why fake alphas crumble in your presence. Their barks are scripts, your quiet confidence is a sword. Here's the brutal truth. If you've ever been called intimidating, you're not broken. You're battle-tested. Today, we're dissecting the 8 undeniable signs you've got a personality forged in the fires of relentless self-mastery. Traits that terrify NPCs but mark you as king in a world of pawns. We're talking about why your obsession with solitude makes weak men whisper behind your back, but never to your face. How your refusal to explain yourself drains the life out of manipulators. And the chilling reason your energy alone can turn a room into a war zone without saying a word. Hit like now if you're ready to own your power, because by the end of this, you'll either hate me or finally understand why most people can't handle being in your orbit. Sign 1. You crave discomfort. Weakness avoids it. Weak men build cages. Warriors build chaos. Here's the brutal truth. 99% of people live like lab rats, sprinting toward comfort, Netflix binges, and safe routines. But you stalk discomfort like a predator. Cold showers at dawn, fasting for focus, taking the hard path just to feel the friction. Most call this madness. You call it oxygen. Fake alphas crumble here. Why? Comfort rots discipline. But you've hacked the system. The pain you chase today becomes the armor you wear tomorrow. Actionable insight. Burn the safety nets. Start with one daily ritual that hurts. Skip meals. Lift in silence. Walk barefoot on gravel. Train your brain to crave the sting of growth, not the numbness of convenience. Problem is, society wants you soft. Instagram gurus sell balance, but lions don't balance. They hunt. Contrast this with the NPCs. They hit snooze. You sprint into the freezing dark. They seek praise. You dissect criticism. They fear failure. You engineer it. As the Spartans said, Molon Labe, come and take them. Your hunger for discomfort isn't a flaw. It's a war cry. Remember, steel isn't forged in sunlight. It's shaped in fire. So ask yourself, are you building a playground or a legacy? Sign 2. Silence is your weapon. Fools fear it. Boys beg for attention. Kings bury their enemies with quiet. Here's the brutal truth. Weakness screams. Strength stalks. Most men drown in noise. Awkward jokes, forced laughter, pleading for scraps of validation. But your silence isn't emptiness. It's a landmine. Fools fear this. Why? Because your refusal to chatter forces them to confront their own desperation. While NPCs scramble to fill voids with memes and small talk, you weaponize stillness. Actionable insight. Next time someone tests you, pause. Let the silence stretch 5 seconds longer than feels safe. Watch them unravel. Your quiet isn't awkward. It's an X-ray exposing their frailty. Contrast this with the herd. They gossip. You observe. They seek approval. You dissect motives. They fear being ignored. You luxuriate in being misunderstood. As Miyamoto Musashi wrote, do nothing that is of no use. Your silence isn't passive. It's a calculated detonation of social games. Problem is, society trains men to perform. But you hack the code. You know words are currency, and you spend them sparingly. Remember, a roaring lion is just a house cat with a microphone. Real power? It's the glacier-cold stare that makes liars confess and cowards sweat. This is why fake alphas crumble. They need volume. You radiate nuclear dread without uttering a syllable. So ask yourself, are you a yapping terrier or a panther in the shadows? Sign 3. Trust actions, not words. Liars lose you. Weak men fall for poetry. Wolves smell blood. Here's the brutal truth. Liars hate you, not because you're cruel, but because their sweet talk melts like wax against your terrifying perception. Most men get played by empty promises and performative loyalty. You dissect intentions like a surgeon. Actionable insight. When someone pledges loyalty, don't nod. Freeze. Track their actions for 30 days. Do they show up? Do they bleed for their claims? Weak men beg for trust. You demand proof written in scars. Problem is, society romanticizes words. I love yous, office promises, political pledges. But you've seen the rot behind the curtain. You know charisma is just weaponized insecurity. Contrast this with the NPCs. They simp for compliments. You autopsy behavior. They crave verbal validation. You stalk patterns. They trust promises. You mine for malice. Your refusal to flinch at this reality is why manipulators avoid you. You're a human lie detector. Remember, boys get hypnotized by syllables. Kings measure power in what's withheld. This is why fake alphas label you paranoid. Truth? They're terrified you'll expose their paper-thin personas. So ask yourself, are you collecting pretty lies? Or building a fortress of unshakable truth? Sign 4. You command without speaking. Frauds shake. Frauds need microphones. Emperors need only a glare. Here's the brutal truth. Weak men think leadership is volume, raving speeches, forced dominance. But your authority leaks from your pores. A raised eyebrow, a slowed blink, a spine forged from tungsten. Actionable insight. Master the 3-second stare. When challenged, lock eyes. Don't blink. Don't fidget. Let the silence scream, test me again. Frauds fold at 1.5 seconds. You'll make them vomit excuses. Problem is, society trains men to perform. Podcast bros yell about frame control. But you are the frame. Contrast this with NPCs. They bang tables. You lower your voice. They name drop. You become the reference. They chase titles. You radiate territorial energy. Like a wolf marking a continent. As Sun Tzu wrote, supreme excellence lies in breaking the enemy's resistance without fighting. You don't command respect. You seize it through sheer gravitational pull. Remember, a barking dog is just insecurity in a collar. Real power? It's the quiet hum of a predator who knows his fangs are already at your throat. This is why liars avoid you. Your silence strips their masks. Your posture dissolves their scripts. Your existence is a confrontation. So ask yourself, are you a circus act begging for applause? Or a sovereign rewriting the rules of the game? Sign 5. Pain fuels your fire. Others break. Weakness shrinks from suffering. Legends bathe in it. Here's the brutal truth. Pain isn't your enemy. It's your accelerant. While others collapse under setbacks, you burn humiliation, betrayal, and failure to forge diamond core resolve. Most men treat pain like a grenade. Duck, cover, pray it passes. You pull the pin and swallow the blast. Actionable insight. Next time you're gut punched, don't numb it. Lean in. Let the rage, shame, or grief fuel a 5 a.m. lift. Transform agony into reps, suffering into calluses, trauma into unstoppable momentum. Contrast this with the herd. They pop pills. You bench press ghosts. They blame the world. You stalk accountability like prey. They beg for mercy. You archive pain as trophies. As the Samurai Creed warns, a sword is tempered by repeated strikes. So too the spirit. You don't heal. You mutate. Problem is, society pathologizes struggle. Therapists call this toxic. Warriors call it Monday. Remember, fire doesn't discriminate. It eats everything, until it meets a man who eats fire. Fake alphas crumble here. They chase positivity. You weaponize darkness. They fear scars. You collect them. This is why you terrify the mediocre. Your pain tolerance isn't human. It's mythic. So ask yourself, are you a candle begging for shelter, or a wildfire devouring the storm? Sign 6. Your focus is ruthless. Distractions die. Weak men chase shiny objects. Assassins lock on target. Here's the brutal truth. The modern world is a dopamine brothel. TikTok, Netflix, endless noise. But your focus is a scalpel in a society of butter knives. Most men mistake busyness for purpose. You annihilate irrelevance. Actionable insight. For 72 hours, kill all non-essentials. Delete apps. Block time wasters. Say no to anything not aligned with your mission. Watch your productivity go thermonuclear. Contrast this with NPCs. They multitask. You hyper-focus. They check notifications. You bury them. They crave novelty. You master monotony like a Zen monk. As Bruce Lee said, the successful warrior is the average man with laser-like focus. But you're not average. You're a guided missile disguised as flesh. Problem is, distraction is currency now. Algorithms want you addicted. You treat attention as a blood oath. Spend it only on what immortalizes you. Remember, butterflies flutter, eagles dive, sharks don't blink. Fake alphas fail here. They chase trends. You set them. They fear boredom. You weaponize it. This is why you're terrifying. While others flinch at delayed gratification, you savor the grind like a fine wine. So ask yourself, are you a moth drawn to flashes, or a titan carving your name into eternity? Sign 7. You own your shadows. Masks are for mortals. Weakness hides in daylight. Strength feasts in the dark. Here's the brutal truth. Most men are terrified of their own shadows. Their rage, lust, raw hunger. They bury these sins under woke platitudes and fake smiles. But you merge with your darkness. Your greed, a jet fuel for ambition. Your anger, a sculptor of boundaries. Your ego, a battering ram against mediocrity. Actionable insight. For 1 week, stop apologizing for your ugly traits. Channel them. Your ruthlessness, use it to crush goals. Your pride, let it silence critics. Your shadows aren't flaws. They're secret weapons. Contrast this with NPCs. They virtue signal. You hunt. They suppress instincts. You unleash them. They fear being problematic. You become the problem. As Carl Jung warned, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. You don't befriend your shadows. You colonize them. Problem is, society demonizes primal power. But you see the truth? Light without darkness is a hallucination. Remember, wolves don't debate morality. They eat. Fake alphas crumble here. They parrot self-help mantras. You rewrite them. This is why you're feared. You turned your demons into generals. So ask yourself, are you a choir boy singing for scraps? Or a warlord ruling your inner hell? Sign 8. No one controls your energy. You radiate terror. Weak men get drained. Titans drain universes. Here's the brutal truth. NPCs leak energy like broken pipes, desperate for validation, thirsty for drama, addicted to approval. But you? Your aura is a force field. You don't give energy. You cripple energy vampires with one glacial stare. Most men are puppets. Their moods swing with insults. Their focus shatters with gossip. You're a black hole of terrifying autonomy. Actionable insight. Delete one energy leech today. A friend who complains? Ghost. A coworker's drama? Mute. Your energy isn't a charity. It's a currency only you mint. Contrast this with the herd. They absorb toxicity. You incinerate it. They chase clout. You exile clowns. They need constant noise. You demand void. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. You don't control the world. You dominate your reaction to it. Remember, diamonds don't beg for light. They create it. Fake alphas crumble here. They're moody, reactive, slaves to algorithms. You're a silo of silent annihilation. This is why crowds part when you walk in. You don't fight for power. You are the power grid. So ask yourself, are you a puppet on dopamine strings or a god sculpting reality from pure will? The world doesn't fear loud men. It fears those who've stared into the abyss and grinned. If these signs hit like daggers, you're not just strong, you're post-human. Here's the philosophical spine. Life isn't a popularity contest. It's a gladiator pit where 99% pray for mercy and 1% write the rules in blood. You don't build confidence. You assassinate doubt. You don't find purpose. You hijack destiny. You don't network. You exile the unworthy. This is why the herd labels you intimidating. Your existence mocks their delusions of safety. If this resonated, you're already a weapon. Smash like, not for me, but to declare war on mediocrity. Subscribe, because the next video exposes how to weaponize your darkness into unlimited power. Spoiler, It involves crushing souls ethically. Final truth. The universe kneels only to those who refuse to kneel. So stop apologizing for your fire. Burn brighter. Burn everything. As Heraclitus said, out of every 100 men, 10 shouldn't be there. 80 are targets. 9 are real fighters. And 1, he's a warrior who'll drag the rest to hell. Be that one. Until next time, stay lethal, stay feared. And remember, dominance isn't taught, it's awakened.